Hello, it's me. I'm here. I don't have anything else funny to say. That's it. Well, doing this. Fuck, it's God damn it! Every fucking time. God, give me a sec. I don't know why this keeps doing this. Just let me point in a direction, and the camera points in that direction. There, left. See, if I point left, me here points left, so I don't have to do some fucking, I don't have to use my brain at all. Other than having to futz with the camera all the time, it's going okay. I got a very busy week ahead of me. But I also put out Davenirs on Friday. It was pretty decent. Ravenloft domains. It's good stuff. You can get you can click it and there's a bundle where you can get Davenirs and Van Richten's, which is the previous book from last year, for like $9, $11? No, like $11, I think. Which both of them are like $10 together. So it's pretty good. It's a cool book. There's character options and class options, and you can what can you do? You could be an edgy paladin, real edgy, like more so than Oathbreaker and Vengeance and Conquest put together. Like when you're the Oath of Darkness, it's some real edgy shit. It's good stuff. But yeah, today we're working on this instead. Nice. I'll say welcome in. I am working on the Cataclysm today. This is a Warlock where your patron is the Apocalypse, or some kind of apocalyptic being. I realize I put in flavor text twice. Well, think like Fenrir from Norse mythology, or one of the Titans from Greek mythology. Some kind of creature that wants to destroy everything. That's your patron. Or maybe your patron is the literal, like, apocalypse itself. Like, your patron is Ragnarok, for instance. So you get spells like... So I did this sort of spell list. I've been sat on this idea for months now, because I've just been too busy to work on it. So I have this spell list of, like, Earth Tremor, Caustic Brew, Flaming Sphere, Earthen Grasp, Erupting Earth, Tidal Wave, Control Water, Ice Storm. Destructive Wave is a fun one to give to Warlocks, because it's just a really good spell. Wrath of Nature is, I don't think, all that good, but it's fun. And they get Earthquake, because I just think that's kind of neat. Earthquake isn't even very good. It's just in flavor. So my main sort of idea for Cataclysm is to allow it to sort of make a zone of danger that enemies don't want to stand in for obvious reasons. And you can do that a number of times, like an area where the ground shakes, an area where there's howling winds, an area where everything is on fire. I don't know, stuff like that. That's kind of the idea. I'm probably just going to come up with like a list of 4 or 5, probably 3 or 5. I'm going to pick one probably, and make that like, or maybe start with 3 and you get more. I don't know. Like you start with 3 and then like at 6 or at 10 or something, you get like 2 extra ones or something. I don't know. This is very kind of bare bones conceptually at the moment, as I'm sure you can tell. This is just sort of a concept and a mechanical identity I want it to have, and I'm going to develop that from the start. Yeah, basically. That's sort of the plan. It's become an accidental sort of nice parallel, which is cool. So I'm not going to name this ability yet. I'm not going to. Let me open up my content index and go look at Warlock subclasses and see how they're worded. They say just starting at first level. Cool. I'm going to drink some water because I've been talking non-stop for the past like 5 minutes and I need to sip. I'm not going to bother with flavor text yet. That I like. I like that. I like that a lot. That's cool. That can be like the 6th level fluff feature or something. Silence emails about what Joe is doing. Joe is currently editing another book that comes out in a couple of weeks. And I just got an email for email from Google Drive. I did look earlier, like almost done on you, right? Because I went through and edited all of that shit yesterday. This is Gollum, by the way. Like, Joe's been editing all the stat blocks for the past couple of weeks, and he's, I think, about finished, or almost very nearly finished. Anyway, last I checked. I went and edited all sort of proofread all the prose earlier on. Right. You can use an action to conjure the essence I mean, yeah, it is a zoning tool. Plus, my thought. Oh, welcome in. I'll say my thought was to, certainly this 6th level ability could very easily be used to push people around, potentially into the zones. You can use the action to conjure the essence of calamity at a point you can see within range. Cataclysmic Zone. Yeah, so, welcome in, Nikki. Fills a sphere with a radius of up to 20 feet. I'm not sure if that's the right kind of wording, but I'm going to keep it like that for now, because it reads well, but I don't know if that's how it's meant to be worded. An Cataclysmic Zone fills a sphere with a radius of up to 20 feet, and lasts for 1 minute. Oh, no, it's not. So yeah, we'll call it a Cataclysmic Zone. I feel like them... Oh, of course it's expanded spells. Warlocks get Sickening Radiance anyway, I think. I need to actually check and make sure these, like, Warlock doesn't get any of these spells natively. Like, I know they don't get Destructive Wave or Wrath of Nature, but I need to check the others. Just to be sure. No, not Earth Tremor. Be surprised if they didn't get Tasha's Caustic Brew. They don't. Flaming Sphere, they definitely don't. That's a Druid Wizard. And also Sorcerer, as of Tasha's. Maximilians, no. Erupting Earth, yeah, I'll say if they don't get Earth Tremor, they're not going to get Erupting Earth. Tidal Wave, they don't get, no. Control Water, no. Ice Storm. Destructive Wave. Wrath of Nature, they obviously, yeah, it's Druid Ranger. And let me check Earthquake, they probably don't get that either. They don't. Okay, right, I just needed to double check that and make sure. I do, however, now need to check the summon spells. When you create the zone, choose a Gale. So we have winds, we have like Rumbling Ground and Gale, Quake, or Wildfire. This is all in wrong. 4.5? That would step on the shadow domain. So I shall. I don't think I will. No, fuck it. The area is filled with strong wind. Now, so 5e has this really weird relationship with describing what strong wind is and how it works. Strong wind is actually one of the few, or like wind levels in general, are one of the few things in the game that are actually keyworded. It's keyworded in the DMG, and I think, but they have this pathological need to reprint what strong wind does everywhere. They do the same thing with invisibility and the invisible trait, which is also really fucking annoying as well. So they like what strong wind does is let me just describe clearly like exactly what it strong wind. So strong wind imposes disadvantage on ranged attack rolls and wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing. Strong wind also extinguishes open flames, disperses fog, and makes flying by non-magical means nearly impossible. A flying creature in strong wind must land at the end of its turn or fall. A strong wind in a desert can create a sandstorm that imposes a disadvantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on sight. So that's what a strong wind does. So they've keyworded that. And in spells like Control Winds or Control, or in Warding Wind, for instance, that's another one. It's a spell 100% the vast majority of you don't even know exists because it's I don't know if it's any good, but it's an example of the weirdness of how wind works. Because it makes a strong wind and then does a bunch of other shit as well. Some of it is things that strong wind already does, and some of it is strong wind that stuff that strong wind specifically doesn't do, which is very odd. But what can you do, right? All right, let me just close. It could be fairly interesting. I'm definitely not against it at all. If it fits in, I'll see if I can get it in there. But I'm not gonna like go looking for it, you know. It's something I could feasibly put in at 10 or 14, but I'll think about that. I'm thinking like Cataclysm in like a geological kind of sense, or in sort of just a natural kind of sense more than anything. But if I can fit it in, it'll go in, you know. A creature. It doesn't specifically synergize, but it doesn't not synergize. I think the main thing is that warlocks, I'm fairly certain, already get enemies abound, so I can't add it to the list. You know, they do, yeah. Vapor, gas, fog. Style guide be damned, we're using the Oxford comma. Anyone who says otherwise can go die. That's maybe a little extreme, but it was funny, so I don't care. I'm going to put the important ones at the top and the fluff ones at the bottom. Now, I'm going to remove the difficult terrain so it doesn't overlap. The ground in the air shakes and rumbles. or be knocked prone. And the last one is Wildfire. So with flames that ignite any non-magical... equal to your proficiency bonus. Taking fire damage equal to 1d substance proficiency bonus. One plus your Warlock level? Well, this is an AoE. This is like a damage over time AoE. It should do a fairly small amount of damage, but it shouldn't ramp to the point where it becomes irrelevant. Because if a creature takes, like, you know, I feel like in tier 1 it needs to be less than 5. In tier 2 it needs to be more than 5. In tier 3 it needs to be like more than 10, and in tier 4 it needs to be like probably cap out at like 20. Twice your proficiency bonus? No, that's way too small. Because it starts too high and ends too low. Because twice your proficiency starts at 4 and caps at 12, and I want it to be pulled further out. Maybe it's a D4. Roll a number of D4s equal to your equal to half your proficiency bonus. No, that's no. Because then again, that's the same thing. It starts even because it starts too low, or it ends too low. And if it's equal to your proficiency bonus, it starts way too high, because 2d4 damage, that's a lot. That's a lot of damage. You know, that's an average of like 5 damage, which at like, you know, level 1, especially in a big AoE like that, 5 damage is a lot of fucking damage. Oh, this is... Because I feel like any amount of damage that scales in a sort of linear fashion... Oh no, not linear, in a sort of formulaic fashion, you know, it scales up with proficiency or with Warlock level or with your charisma or whatever, I don't know. Roll a number of d4s equal to the highest level Warlock spell slot, the highest level Warlock spell unit. No, that's so fucking finicky. It's, because it could just scale linearly. It could just like scale with level. It could start at like a d4 and then be 2d4 at 5 and 3d4 at 9 or whatever, right? Like it could totally just do that. Fuck it, yeah. That's. I wanted to do like a nice like, you know, a nice sort of formulaic scale, but linear scaling fucking works. What's 5d4 is like 12 damage. Because, yeah, 5d4 is like 12, which is really not... I mean, at higher levels, we can just, you know, have them improve in some capacity. That feels okay. Need to name this feature now. Invoke Calamity. That's pretty cool. Or invoke Disaster. There we go. See, long rest feels antithetical to Warlock's design, but short rest feels way too frequent. And like proficiency bonus scaling is just standard now. Like that's just like how that shit goes. It could be like 1 plus half your proficiency and be a short rest just to stay in keeping with Warlock. But again, it feels like long rest feels antithetical to what Warlock is supposed to be, right? Like it's, you know, Warlock is the short rest class. It is the class that gets everything back whenever it takes a short rest, with very limited exception. And I feel like this is your subclass feature. You should be able to use it more than twice in a day. But it's, yeah. I'm going to red text this for now, and I'm going to come back to it. for reference, red text means I'm gonna look at it again, and I may well change it. Sometimes I don't, but it's something I'm conflicted on and don't want to be forced to make a decision on right now. But I like these three effects. Gale is kind of awkward because it has it does like 9 things, only 2 of which are really relevant. Like Gale has this. I might just put... Nah. I'm very tired. Damn. More emails from, like, Google Drive. Let's find out how far Joe is. Let's see. I mean, I'm gonna see. I'm not gonna share my screen. Joe is basically done. Nice. Oh, it's good stuff. I will. I'm actually gonna go in and make a note to sort that tonight. Then. I'm actually like writing this down on my schedule now. All right. Okay. I have an idea. Okay. First I'm gonna drink some of my tea because I'm thirsty. I don't particularly care much for the mechanics of the Fey Wanderer subclass, however, it has on many occasions proven invaluable for templating for one very specific ability. Fey Reinforcements, because it provides a framework for subclasses getting access to spells for free and the ability to cast them for free multiple times. You can invoke the Terror. You know Dissonant Whispers. It doesn't count against the number of Warlock spells you know. And you can cast it with that. Does Dissonant Whispers even take a material component? I don't think it does. It does not. You can also cast it once with it. that is what we want. So, Dissonant Whispers. In there, you learn Dissonant Whispers. Good spell. I'm pretty sure Warlocks get it anyway. Correction, no they don't. So you get a spell you otherwise wouldn't get, which is really good. And you get to cast it once for free, which as a Warlock is very good. And you then get to spend Invoke... I mean, this kind of now facilitates that this has to be short rest, because otherwise, you know, you have 3 uses of this ability per day. And I liked Joe's idea about the silly fluff ability of beasts being afraid of you because you are the disaster. Like, I think that's kind of fun. Oh, what is the term for like crowd fear? Like herd mentality fear. Is herd fear even a term? No, I don't want fear of crowds. I want, what's it called when a crowd of people... Is it hysteria? Yeah, that's what I call. That's what I called. What I thought. Yeah. I could just call it invoke hysteria, or I could just call it hysteria. I'm gonna call it hysteria. I think that's just cool. You exude an aura of... that strikes terror into those that look upon you. I guess this can just be like a fluff feature. Into small animals. There we go. Is there a term for that thing that Joe was talking about? Is like, what is the, hang on, how can animals sense earthquakes? Sense natural disasters. Nature's Bane. It's pretty cool. Or a beast, or I'll put plant as well, because if the plant creature is intelligent, then, you know, that's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Have a feeling we're going to finish a little earlier than I expected, but it's not really a big deal. Yeah, sure. From on step block, yeah, sure. I'll take a look. I'll say, yeah, stick the link in chat if you want me to take a look at it, but, Mesmerine's Earthen Grasp. This seems antithetical here, because if it's motionless, it can't be swimming, right? Like, it should be like remains motionless underwater, or is fully submerged in water or something. It is indistinguishable from, you know, it is indistinguishable from a humanoid, for instance. I would also remember that these need to be italicized. Same goes for melee weapon attack and hit. It just makes things more readable. Like, mortal grass surrounds a chance with venomous tendrils that fill a 20-foot radius. A 20-foot radius that fill a 20-foot radius around it, not centered on it, just around it. Because it's not like you're not targeting a point. If it's just around it, then it's 20-foot radius around it, right? Whenever a creature enters the radius for its turn, that creature must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. On a failure, comma, a creature takes 2d6 poison damage and is what says generally these kinds of abilities, or like, generally this would be like a tentacle attack. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with this, like this being an ability instead of an attack, but it is kind of weird. You could probably cut this and just say it is grappled, escape DC X, and then a creature grappled in this way is restrained. That is the way that this kind of stuff is always worded. So you can cut this, and then just have this, and then like have this be, and is grappled by the tentacles. A creature grappled in this way is restrained. Like, new sentence. On a success, comma, a creature takes half as much damage and is not restrained. This is an action. This would go in the bonus. You would make a new header down here called the bonus actions, and make a real ability like the Roper, and put the Lyri pulls, the Lyri pulls a creature restrained by its mortal grasp feature in 20 feet in a straight line towards, straight towards it. Basically go read the Roper ability. Except instead of into a 5 feet, it would just be, or as you know, it would. Yeah, you could just straight up go steal the Roper ability and put it as a bonus action and specify it has to be, is restrained by the Lyri's mortal grasp, or is grappled by the mortal grasp feature. Or just a creature it is grappling, because, yeah, that works too. Piercing damage plus acid damage. If a creature is reduced to 0 hit points by this attack, it dies and its body... I would go look at the disintegrate wording for this. I would just go look at the disintegrate wording. Please. I'd probably call this something different. Maybe just like a luring plea or something. As an action, the Lyri calls for help. Each creature in 6 feet that can hear him must see intelligence saving throw and offense creature's charms or charms. This would be wisdom if it's, you think like harpies, right? I would then also go and look at I would go look at frightful presence for the, like, a dragon's frightful presence for the wording of this. And this is probably unnecessary, just because, like, this is already a pretty dangerous ability as is. Yeah, I think this is interesting. This is like I understand exactly what this creature is with no flavor text, just based on like some of the abilities you've given it. So I'd say it's an effective piece of design. There's just like some wording bits and pieces. I would say basically all of this works as raw. But there's just better ways of wording some of it, I would cut this though, because this ability is pretty devastating as is. Yeah, I'd say this is obviously like there's the grappled thing here, and so you can remove this and turning this into a real bonus action, stuff like that. But yeah, otherwise I'd say this is fine. So, certainly for like if you're using this in a home game, this is probably fine as is. But there's like little things that I would recommend changing anyway, just because they're good form. Like shorthanding stats to con is fine. Like, again, like it's home game. Who cares? But yeah. Okay. Cataclysm. Paralysis. I did not see paralysis. Oh, I straight up didn't see that. No, I don't think so. I would do I would look a creature that also that shouldn't just be DC 15. Obviously, yeah, it should be. It would be an undetermined number. It'd be based on, you know, its proficiency bonus and whatever stat you think is relevant, or whatever you think adds to a number you want. A creature that is already restrained by this trait, that fails its saving throw, is instead paralyzed until the start of its next turn. There we go. I'm going to word this ability, and then I'm going to go take a break, because I'm hungry. You can withstand even the most dangerous natural disasters. For that instance of damage, whenever you take acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, or thunder damage, you use your reaction to gain resistance to each of those types for that instance of damage. Yeah, that's cool. Then, additionally, you gain the following options for your generally 10th level Warlock features are passives, but I kind of like this. I think it's cool, and then I want these two extra like features. So one of them is going to be additionally, or when you use your invoke disaster feature, instead choose either so I want like a sickening radiance kind of effect. Okay, that's cool. That yeah, that makes sense. I want like a sickening radiance kind of effect. What are the calamities? Can we? I guess there's like water-based ones, but I'm not sure how that would necessarily. I'm not sure how that wouldn't just overlap with like Quake, for instance. I'll call this one with disaster. Radiate or I choose irradiate or plague. There we go. Okay, right. I'm gonna go grab food because I'm hungry. I will be back in, I don't know, about probably 10 to 15 minutes. Yeah, I'm just gonna grab food and eat. When I get back, we're gonna finish this up. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Probably another 15, 20 minutes, maybe. Maybe a little more. I'll probably stick around a bit longer and sort of like, sort of chat design stuff here and there. But either way, I'm gonna go take a break here. If people have to head off, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll see people in about 15 minutes. So yeah. Okay, I'm back. Oh. There we go. Right. Let's finish this thing up. Oh. Area is filled with dim light. Nope. Suffer 3 levels of exhaustion. Let me go look at Sickening Radiance. So, you make a zone, big debuff area. If they stand in it, they have to make a con save, and if they fail the con save, they're fucked for a round. Obviously, it's a con save, and most monsters, especially at, in sort of tier 3 onwards, have generally very good con. So you're mostly going to be hitting minions with this and like enfeebling them, but that's still really good. And on the off chance that a monster, a boss monster, does actually fail this save, they are boned. Particularly disadvantage on saving throws is really scary. Oh, God, clear my throat. Fuck. Right. Plague. Hmm. So it does less damage than the Wildfire. And there's also a con save, but it poisons. Now, a lot of monsters are immune to the poisoned condition. But I think, basically, this is an option. You can use it when you want to use it, and not use it when it's not useful to you. It's first pushed 10 feet into the air. Yeah, I think it's definitely generally worse than Wildfire, I think. I think my main concern is Quake being just kind of bad. But I'll probably have a sit down with Joe about that at some point, most likely. But I'm definitely happy with Irradiate. Irradiate is really fucking scary. It is. I guess probably a greater concern is that Irradiate is just explicitly the best one. But we'll see. Well, that's something I wanted to do here, because I realised it doesn't do exactly what I want it to do. So I feel like the ultimate ability should be something very simple. You know, it should be a lot of Warlock ults are. I'm not sure what specifically though. We shall see. See, the one thing I want to do is the evocation capstone. So I kind of can't do that. And I also kind of want to do exploding dice. But again, that's Oh, I think Untold Calamity. Once you've used this feature, you must... Oh, no, you must succeed. You must... So, this might seem like not really that interesting on the surface, but this basically means that you can fill an entire battlefield with one of these effects for an entire fight, and then make your allies immune to it as well, which is huge. So you can make a gale that fills the area. You can... I feel like gale definitely needs to be better in some capacity. I might just put... That's probably the way to go. So it makes it difficult terrain. And Quake does the same thing, but it sort of punishes creatures for coming into it, rather than trying to shoot through it. And then Wildfire is just damage over time. I'm quite happy with that. I think the exact balance of particularly Gale, Quake, and Irradiate are a little wider than I would want them to be. But ultimately speaking, I think I'm generally happy with this on principle. The design is here, and it does a lot of the things I would want it to do. And that's all I want, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this. I think this is very cool. We need some flavor text, but I will do that in my own time. I'm pretty happy with this. I'm pretty happy with this. I will I think I might I might sign off here, I think. It's good to be back doing something else, because working on Golem was good fun, but it was a lot of work. Just as a heads up, there will be no stream this Wednesday, this Friday, or next Monday or next Wednesday. Because I'm like, oh, I'm back. I'm going to be back more frequently. Yeah, it turns out I'm like super busy for the rest of this week and basically all of next week. I will be back. I'm running 5 D&D games this week, and I also have Golem to sort of do all the marketing prep for. And I guess you get the announcement. Golem is coming out next Friday. That's what's happening. That Golem is coming out next Friday. And I'm looking forward to it. I'm probably going to be working on another subclass next Friday, most likely. Also that, yeah. I mean, yeah, it's And then next Monday, I'm going on holiday for 4 days. I'm traveling up, sort of up north end of the country to see family. So I will be away for those full 4 days, and I won't be around to stream. I'll probably still be fairly active on Twitter, posting stuff for Golem and posting spellbooks and things like that. I'm making a lot of progress on the spellbook. I'm up to D at this point. I posted oh god, what did I post today? What was the spell? A Death Ward. Death Ward was fun to talk about because I got to explain to probably some people for the first time about Death Ward stacking. Death Ward stacking is cool because it's the kind of thing that sounds super broken on paper, but 100% just isn't, because it costs you multiple 4th level spell slots, which is it's not cheap. If it was like 2nd or lower, it would definitely be super busted, but so would Death Ward if it was 2nd or lower, so, you know, who cares? But yeah, I'm going to head off here. Hope folks have enjoyed themselves. I will be, you know, apologies for having to basically fuck off for another 2 weeks, but I have shit to do at the moment, and that takes priority. So, and realistically, I'm like actively not going to be. So, it kind of does. It's weird. It technically doesn't. There is probably an amount of DM's discretion to it, but it's the kind of thing where it's like the rules heavily suggest that this is how it works, and therefore it should probably work that way. It's because of the way like overlapping magical effects work, or combining magical effects works. That suspends the older Death Ward, and then the new Death Ward pops, and the old one becomes active again. Whatever. But yeah, had a good time. Looking forward to sort of getting back into more sort of regular streaming. Should hopefully be sort of next month. Hopefully. I've just had a lot going on the past like 2 or 3 months. Mostly all good stuff, but even so, just been very, very busy. But yeah, I hope folks enjoyed themselves. I will hopefully see you next Friday. See ya.